This video is brought to you by shankgym.com. Hey everybody, Macadamia here for OCR Kings, and Tom is checking in. He's given us a sit rep for the Ohio Trifecta weekend, which was May 17th and 18th, 2025.
Excellent.
Yeah, over there in
Yeah,
Garrettsville, Ohio. We'll give you a link to the unabridged version of this on
that's
Tom's
right.
site, shankgym.com. Definitely go check him out over there. But without further ado, here's an introduction. Tom writes, "Think you know mud, or think mud isn't much to think about?" Well, he has just the review for you. The Ultrafecta near Akron, Ohio, was a quagmire featuring an Ultra, Beast, Super, and Sprint. Despite not being well attended due mainly to the weather and competing races in other parts of the country, such as Big Bear and Austin, it still provided a traumatic, he means memorable, race for all four distances. So grab a cup of Death Wish coffee and a scoop of C4, and let's get down to business.
All right, so he gets a little bit of history of the event. So Spartan Race first hit Ohio in 2014 with its trifecta weekend at the Wilds in Cumberland. The place seemed promising with its rolling hills and open spaces, but it couldn't handle the infamous 2017 parking fiasco.
Ba, ba, ba.
After days of rain, the parking area turned into a mess with three tow trucks working nonstop, pulling cars out of a field soaked by overnight rains. Excellent. Cars were lined up along the country road leading to the venue, making things even more confusing. It really was a logistical nightmare. The memory of guys abandoning vehicles to run to their start time still cracks Tom up to this day. That's funny. Okay.
Nice.
So Spartan has moved the race to Southington Off-Road Park. From 2018 to 2021, the problems weren't completely solved, but the new spot managed the terrain a bit better. That is, until the rain came back. In 2019, cars had a tough time on the winding, muddy road into the lot and also got stuck. Tom says he ended up giving a few stranded racers a lift before even getting to their packet pickup.
He's
Good,
like
t-
a
good, good times.
he's a superhero out
That's
here.
right.
Wow.
Okay, I thought this venue was finished, but after a 2-year hiatus, including a COVID break, the Garrettsville Trifecta returned with an Ultra. Tom prepared or participated in the Ultra that year, and now it has gained significant popularity, attracting racers from the Midwest as well as the East Coast who are seeking a challenging early season event. Well, they certainly got what they wanted with this one.
Well, I'm detecting a theme here.
Yeah.
It sounds like a lot of rainy stuff going on. And Tom continues about the weather. He says, "Spring in Ohio isn't just unpredictable; it's downright tricky. From March to May, northern Ohio usually gets about 9.5 to 10.5 inches of rain. Central Ohio sees a bit more, around 10 to 11 inches, often dumped in sudden thunderstorms when Gulf air collides with cold fronts. Interesting. Southern Ohio gets 11 to 12 inches, sometimes causing flash floods in the Ohio River Valley. And between May 10th and May 17th, 2025, Garrettsville got almost 5 inches of
Inches.
rain. 5 days of nonstop
Yeah,
rain turned fields into soggy messes.
you can only
Yikes.
imagine. Yep. So, the mechanics of mud. About 300 million years ago, Ohio was covered by shallow inland seas. Over time, silt clay and decaying organic matter piled up into thick layers, eventually hardening into the shale and sandstone that form the regional bedrock today. During the last ice age, ice sheets moved back and forth, scraping the land and leaving behind a thick, messy mix of particles that drain about as well as concrete. This is what racers run on. It's not just mud, but a piece of geologic history. This isn't just some run of the mill brown sludge. This mud has a backstory. The area is perched on the edge of a glaciated Appalachian plateau. Back in the last ice age, huge glaciers rolled through, grinding rocks into fine particles, carving out valleys, and leaving behind layers of glacial till, a thick, poorly drained mix of clay, silt, sand, and gravel. Its drainage is terrible. Once it's soaked, that's it. Water just sits on top. Traction gone. This mud clogs in your shoes, grabs your muscles, and pulls your feet back down just when you think you're free.
Amazing. You know, it would
That's
not be a true Tom sit rep if we
that's
didn't get
right.
a little geological backstory. And Damer, hats off to you for
That's right.
hammering that all out.
That's right.
Fantastic.
Getting through that like I'm wicked smart.
So, of the festival area, Tom writes that the weather on race day was just right, with temperatures hitting the upper 50s to low 60s. But then Friday night storm threw a wrench into everything. A tornado watch rolled in through the area, knocking out power all over Northeast Ohio. The location, about 30 miles from where the race was happening, got hit hard. Okay. Leaving power lines down and outages lasting into Saturday morning. By 6:30 a.m., the Spartan crew, much to their credit, was busy piecing the festival area back together. The starting line had shifted a bit since the last event here, but the parking field was the same, as was packet pickup for ultra runners. The walk from the field to registration was short but slippery, and not many vendors showed up. Cowards! That's
It's
mine, not
well,
Tom.
it sounds like it,
But
rightfully so. Yeah.
he said that makes sense given the circumstances. Those who did were scattered, huddled under tents like they were in a war zone. But one tent stood out: Athlete Services,
Oh, there we
run by
go.
none other than
Yeah.
Rocco Castellano.
Oh,
Yep,
great dude. Yep.
Rocco is back, and he
Yeah.
signed on for regional Spartan races in the Midwest. He's also got a giveaway for this weekend, a pass to the sauna and cold plunge. Guess what? Link in the description below.
Yeah,
Check
very
that
cool.
out. Definitely check out Rocco. He's a great guy. For this race, Rocco brought his whole setup: saunas, cold plunges, tubs, massage guns. Those are great. And bag drop stations for daily or weekend pass holders. Despite the
Very cool.
chaos, he was a calm presence, like a safe harbor in a storm. If you've raced before, you know exactly what Tom means. Right on.
Yep. Excellent. So, the Ultra, this year's Ultra had a cool change in its setup. Back in 2021, they threw in an extra loop right in the middle of the Beast course. But this time around, they switched things up. You tackled the Beast first, then hit a smaller Ultra loop at the end. And yep, you did that loop twice. In the Beast, it kicked off with a mile of trails winding through the trees. There was some light mud, a few fallen trees, overall pretty easy terrain. Then came the middle part: 10 miles of mud, more mud, water mixed with mud, deeper mud, and you guessed it, a lot more mud. ATV tracks filled with water made a tricky maze of foot traps, and the off road paths led to some even deeper spots.
Wow.
Ultra runners had to tackle this section twice. It's like, got to hand it to them. It was brutal.
Wow.
So for the super sprint, short course racers caught a bit of a break. Their paths skipped most of the deep, muddy middle section, but there was still plenty of muck to give them the real feel for it. Just enough to make it a true Spartan race and leave a lasting impression.
Wow. All right.
Oh,
So the mud was everywhere. I guess
yeah.
it messed things up. Shoes lost their grip. Overhead rings and rigs and all of that grippy stuff got slippery, and the walls were covered in grime. By the time the open heat started, everything had a layer of wear and tear. They must have been a disaster. The Beast had the usual Ohio challenge, a log carry through thick brush. This year it was shorter and easier to handle than before. Sounds good. The Ultra Loop threw in another sandbag carry. Hmm. Just in case your grip wasn't already shot. Okay, multiple sandbag carries, not my favorite, but okay. Standard stuff. No dunk wall this time,
Mm,
which Tom kind of
yeah.
missed after dealing with the muck. I guess you could have gotten
Get a
sort of
little,
hosed off.
yeah, that's right. Less muck, more water. Yeah.
Right. The final obstacle run, I guess a barbed wire crawl, rope climb, Z wall, inverted wall. It didn't loop
Hmm.
around the festival area, so not a lot for folks to watch at the end there. That's surprising. So spectators, I guess, didn't get to see much action, but the obstacles were spread around the course, which made things flow better and cut
Yeah.
down on the bottlenecks. All right. So it
Right.
wasn't like you were just running, running, running and no
That's right.
obstacles. Okay. Good balance, I guess.
That's right. So, in conclusion, Tom says that Hope Spartan keeps this venue on the schedule. It brings unique challenges, and depending on the weather conditions, it can either be a series of rolling hills or a test of how well you've been training your IT bands over the winter. Either way, a great weekend that sets up for the coming months when we all figure out what's what's what pretty quick.
Nice.
So, see you next year, Ohio. Stay muddy.
I have a feeling it will.
Yeah.
It sounds like the weather is pretty
Sounds it.
predictable.
Yeah.
Terrible. So, you know what? Thank you, Tom, again for this sit rep. You are the
Yes.
best. You are a machine. Everybody definitely go over and check out shankgym.com. Totally great information over there. And if you haven't done so already, please think about giving a like and subscribe. It definitely helps to grow the channel and is greatly appreciated. So whether you're going to this event next year and you're going to stay muddy or not, we hope to see you out there on the course. But until that time, remember, as always, train hard
Have fun.